Hello luxury watch lovers! In this channel, I cover the background, fundamental design features, and things to consider before buying your watch. If you have a luxury watch that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. In today's video, we're going to cover the Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V. The decoration of this watch is simply fantastically beautiful, and of course, the movement is also signed with the coveted Geneva hallmark, which guarantees a high manufacturing standard, both in terms of the reliability of a watch and its workmanship from an aesthetic point of view. The origin story of the modern luxury steel sports watch is well known to most enthusiasts, or at the very least, the widely accepted version of events. And if you're unfamiliar, a brief synopsis should suffice. The Swiss watch industry needed to reinvent itself in the 1970s. Sales had been decimated by the so-called quartz crisis, and worst of all, it swayed consumer preferences away from mechanical watches. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas, as part of the trio of luxury sports watches born in the 1970s, meets all of the genre's requirements. The Overseas adds a layer of versatility to the Royal Oak and the Nautilus, thanks to the deceptively simple interchangeable strap system. The VC Overseas is a fully fledged family now in its third iteration, and the model we're looking at today is the simplest entry-level time-only watch in a 41mm steel case with a dashing black, blue and silver dial. And VC has its own in-house caliber developed specifically for this watch. The subtle design changes and superior finishes on the case and bracelet evoke the casual elegance of the first overseas watches, while also incorporating the robust attributes of a sports watch. So let's go back to 1970. The Beatles have split up. The Concorde makes its first supersonic flight, anti-Vietnam War protests take place in Washington, D.C., and many men embrace the latest fashion of bell-bottom jeans. It's also a tense time for Swiss watchmakers as cheap quartz movements are driving them out of business. And to rekindle the market, something must be done. Not every man in the 1970s wants a fussy gold dress watch like their fathers, or even a tough tool watch. They want something sporty but stylish, something in keeping with the relaxed mood of the day. Well, the current Overseas 4500V model is the third generation of this model. The Overseas collection was introduced by VC in 1996 and has been refined ever since, with majority of revisions done in 2004 and 2016. And the whole design was inspired by the 222. Most collectors, however, accept the Overseas 4500V's lineage as genuine. This indirect bloodline is advantageous in many ways. The Overseas 4500V is not constrained by historic design codes in the same way. As a result, it appears and feels the most modern of the other models released before its time. Now, the 222 was designed to commemorate the brand's 222nd anniversary and was Vacheron's take on the luxury sports watch and would become the spiritual grandfather of the Overseas collection. The 222, with its screw-down notched bezel and case back, guaranteed water resistance up to 120 meters and was positioned as a watch for men who lead an active lifestyle but appreciate refined touches such as the ultra-thin movement. The third and most recent Overseas collection, launched in 2016, is the most similar to the first generation, with intentional vintage touches and a strong emphasis on elegance. Vacheron Constantin Overseas has never looked better. As a luxury sports watch, the timepiece is on par with the Royal Oak or the Nautilus, regardless of design preference. The Overseas 4500V is intended for the collector who seeks haute-ologie that can be worn anywhere, in a boardroom, a pub, underwater, or a music studio containing high-powered electronic equipment. It's also ideal if you only want one watch because the bracelet and strap options and quick release system make it as good as three. With these new and exciting changes to the line, I am confident that Overseas has finally distinguished itself sufficiently from its competitors and reasserted its position as one of the world's finest sports watch lines. Let's take a look at some of the design features. We're focusing on the VC reference 4500V, which has a case diameter of 41mm and 11mm in height. After peering into the transparent sapphire glass case back, you can see its in-house movement with an automatic caliber 5100, which provides a power reserve of 60 hours. You do have a selection of dial colors to choose from, either black, blue or silver, and all with a satin finish flange, 18-karat white gold hour markers, and hands with luminescent material. You are welcome to alternate between a stainless steel bracelet, an alligator leather strap, or a rubber strap. It has a decent water resistance of up to 150 meters. And if any of you decide to take the plunge on this one, please let us know in the comments if you feel it's worth the price range of between $19,900 to $60,000. Here are 4 things to consider before buying the VC Overseas 4500V. Starting with number 1, the case. The stainless steel case has a dynamic personality due to the juxtaposition of different geometric shapes and textures, but it has been tempered to capture the more elegant, streamlined silhouette of the Overseas. The distinctive bezel features 6 notches as opposed to the 8 notches of the first and second generation models, and is meant to remind us of the Maltese cross that forms part of VC's identity. The case's exceptional level of finishing with alternating satin brushed and polished finishes is what sets it apart. The slim case fits snugly around the wrist. It's not only comfortable, but it's also functional for everyday wear and possesses genuine presence without being overbearing. Because of the high polish on the bezel, I believe it is more eye-catching than the other 2. VC's high-quality integrated bracelet keeps it cozy against your arm. However, there are no hexagonal center links. Instead, the design resembles a half Maltese cross that extends from the bezel. Moving on to number 2, the bracelet. The DIY interchangeable bracelet mechanism is another appealing feature of the Overseas. The system, which is one of the simplest and fastest mechanisms on the market that even a child can master, allows you to change the personality of your watch in seconds with no tools required. The watch is presented on a stunning metal bracelet and comes with a stylish alligator strap and a sporty rubber strap. Without the use of any tools, all 3 straps can be changed in seconds. Of course, this adds to the watch's versatility because you can always have a second strap on hand and quickly switch it to a more elegant strap for the evening after a sporty day. All 3 bands are beautifully crafted and fit the watch perfectly. Each one gives the Overseas its personality, making it suitable for any occasion. The straps are lashed together and the folding clasp between the strap and the rubber is changed using a clever click or twist mechanism. I don't have the impression that it is less stable than traditional spring bars. The system seems satisfying. The metal bracelets are domed and have a satin brushed finish, as well as polished interior angles that evoke the half Maltese cross motif. The rubber strap also has a motif inspired by the same famous VC emblem, and the alligator leather strap has a flat tip and a velvety nubuck lining that is accentuated by a micro-perforated effect. And even the folding clasp for the straps is easy to use. Aside from the Overseas' variability via the strap changing system, the Overseas may truly banish all other watches in your collection into the darkness of the boxes for a very long time. The VC Overseas ticks all the boxes in terms of technology and quality, craftsmanship and materials used, design and appearance, and most importantly, its effect on the arm. The built-in extension system is another nice modern touch. This allows you to customize the bracelet to fit your wrist size, a welcome feature that VC's main competitors lack. Ticking away with number 3, the sleek dial. A black dial, which is one of the 3 colors available, is handsome, stylish, and easy to combine, and was added to the collection in 2021. It's difficult to go wrong with a black dial, and this watch's inky black lacquered dial is stunning. It's also nice to see a black dial after so many years of just seeing blue dials. But having said that, the most stylish and easy to go with your evening outfit is the blue dial. The incredible blue of the dial was used in conjunction with a one-of-a-kind and elaborate finishing touch. The next highlights are the indexes and hands, structures that are as elegant as and match the dial, both made of white gold and precisely filled with luminescent material, are rare. The Overseas' elegant and timeless appearance is further enhanced by the absence of texts, such as automatic, anti-magnetic, and superlative. The design would be perfect if they had placed the Geneva near the 6 o'clock position. Oh, and the inconspicuous but very well executed date window was thankfully repositioned where the watch design is desired, at 3 o'clock. And we are truly thankful because the date in the 2nd generation had slipped. And last but not least, number 4, the movement. The Overseas features an in-house automatic movement designed specifically for this family of watches. Caliber 5100 has 172 components and is equipped with Vacheron's in-house balance spring that runs at 4 Hz and has a power reserve of 60 hours. The sapphire case back shows the 22-karat gold oscillating weight, which is engraved with a wind rose to evoke the travel theme and has sandblasted, polished, and grained finishes. The watch bears the hallmark of Geneva certification, as one might expect. The movement's decoration is very nice and shows no flaws. Nice chamfers, beveled wheel, and polished screws. One minor quibble, the decoration, despite being done with cutting-edge techniques, is quite cold and clinical. A little more opulence or more open bridges would have added to the pleasure. And as mentioned before, but really a true highlight, is that this watch can be personalized according to the owner's preference, thanks to its clasp and system of 3 easily interchangeable straps: steel, leather, and rubber. And this wraps up my review of the VC Overseas 4500V. Thank you for watching this video. Nothing helps this channel more than you watching until the very end. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments below what other watches you think deserve their own video. And remember, time is your greatest asset.